This will be good. I'm really excited to talk about this. This is like game changing, right? So there's been hard enduros that aren't part of like the US series, but there's not been a series as far as I've been able to look for. Once you guys announced this, I started to try and look and see there's not like a true, there's like Sear, but Sear wasn't full hard enduro, right? It was like more enduro from,
Sear was pretty difficult. Yes, I would say
okay.
it was. It's definitely hard enduro.
Okay.
Um, it was just its own internal series, but I mean, it was great. And I
Yeah.
think Adam McClutchan is starting it back up. Honestly, that's what I
I've
heard.
heard rumors. Yeah.
Yeah. So it was, but it was just its own internal series. I only raced a couple of them because I'm honest, I'm new to Ohio, sort of. I've only been
Hmm.
here for like 10 years now. So, uh, but yes, this is the first kind of, we are spearheading this.
Hmm.
Matt Musgrove talked to me about it quite a bit almost a year ago. We started talking about it and saying
Yeah.
that, no other state has ever done it. And he's been trying to get certain states to do it. And, there was little interest, I guess. I was unaware that there wasn't a state championship hard enduro series.
Hmm.
And then so Matt uh, introduced me and Logan from the AMA, and I've been talking to Logan. I mean, from last year, whenever we put on the Yellow Bush hard enduro, so I got to know
Hmm.
Logan back then, and yeah, I guess just a lot of guys, Matt and Logan and Josh and all, and they all thought that if somebody could do it, potentially I could do it.
Yeah.
Uh, I wasn't I wasn't so down with that idea, but I was just like, I have no idea. It's just like all my businesses I have.
Yeah.
Uh, I just know how to work. I didn't know the whole admin legality side of it
Hmm.
all. So that's the
Yeah.
big fear whenever I take on any new business endeavor.
Hmm.
But I did a whole lot of research, a whole lot of talking to everybody. I talked to Matt. He probably was sick of me asking him about stuff. Talking to Josh Baker. I talked to Nick Farringer a lot. I talked to Quinn Winslow a lot. Jeff Husted. Um, I just wanted to make sure I had everybody on board because I could not ever think about doing this by myself. Yes, I own the
Yeah.
series, but there's some, Nick and Quinn just alone, those two, the amount of race knowledge and experience they have. So
Yeah.
I'm going to lean on them very heavily and ask, what do you think about this? What would you do? Run my ideas past them and see what
Yeah.
they say. Like, I'm all for the opinion of someone that has 10 times the experience I do. So
Yeah.
I'll
Yeah.
put in the work, and so will they.
Yeah.
But it's it,
Hmm.
it's more of a team. It's more of a team series. I'm literally just the guy putting it all together, pretty much. Jeff Hughes
So,
did have. Go ahead.
yeah, go ahead. Oh, I was just gonna say, like, how did this all come about? You guys have had a couple races in Ohio, and it's gnarly area. I mean, I've been wanting to go to Ohio to ride for over a year now since I started seeing everything out there. It's just like it looks really, really cool. But like, kind of what sparked it, other than like Matt saying something, or was it just Matt saying something?
No, well, for actually creating an AMA state championship series, yeah, it was Matt saying something.
Yeah.
I never really, not a thought really passed that, hey, I'm going to start my own AMA state championship series. Yes, I helped Tilly set up Yellow Bush. That's a phenomenal place to ride, and I enjoy it.
Hmm.
I really enjoy going out and using my dirt bike skills to build courses. I like
Hmm.
working, so that's another plus. So I'm working and I'm riding.
Yeah.
Uh, and you get that sense of accomplishment and pride that something that you build. So
Mhm.
I did that with COCR as well, and I think everybody really liked that course, other than a couple spots that you would have never known went to crap. But I really enjoyed it. So once Matt mentioned it to me, I
Mhm.
just thought, like, man, how awesome would I told my wife and my kids, I said, how awesome would it be if I literally could just go ride every day and build track? I don't got to
Yeah.
worry about I don't have to worry about getting my bike prepped, and almost every time getting all the rental bikes prepped to go to one of the US Hard Enduro round, driving who knows anywhere from 5 to 12 hours. Uh,
Yeah.
I enjoy that to a point, but
Yeah.
um, it does kind of get a little bit old. So
Mhm.
the excitement of knowing that, like, I'm going to be right here next to home, the farthest race venue from me is
Mhm.
2 hours, 2.5 hours, maybe.
Wow.
Um, so just having that and having the terrain, like you're saying, we have amazing terrain out here. So it's
Mhm.
so awesome. Uh, yeah.
Yeah, I had a friend, who was like, Ohio's gonna do hard enduro? Like, what?" And I was like, do you not know?" Like, so I started sending him videos of Wellsville, and he's like, "Whoa, that's sick." I was like, "Yeah, like, there's all kinds of stuff like this out there." But a lot of people just think of Ohio as, like, a super flat place. To be fair, I thought the same thing of Iowa, and I've driven through Iowa a million times. But there are parts of every state that have good riding and good like hard enduro areas. So
Yeah.
Ohio just happens to have a lot, but I guess it's more hidden and like secretive. It's not like when you're out here, like everybody knows what Jawbone is and like everybody knows that area. And like if you say stuff like that, they're like, oh yeah, that's definitely the place you should take anyone who comes out here. I think it's a little bit more reserved out east. So,
Yeah. I think because that, none of it is just open to the public. There
yeah.
is places here like Perry State Forest, which it is
Mhm,
a hidden gem for
mhm.
awesome single track. It
Yeah.
gets gnarly in there. I wouldn't say that it's hard enduro gnarly, but there's
Mhm,
definitely spots there. You can get your fix on any hill climb you want. You can get your fix on, that's rutted. It's
mhm.
kind of like the jungle in there. It's very, very thick, and it's almost always wet. Uh, yeah, so Perry is pretty much the only place that's like open to the public that is equivalent of what we would like to go ride. Everything
Yeah.
else is a private piece of property. So that's
Mhm.
how you could consider it kind of like hidden. It's just
Yeah.
not open unless they have an event. So
Mhm, mhm. So, you're talking about venues. How many different venues or races are there?
there's right now on the schedule, there's locked in for six different ones. And
Okay.
it's going to be one a month starting in March. So March, April, May, June. The month of July is open right now, and then you have
Mhm,
August, September. I have
mhm,
two properties that are asking me if I could put them on the schedule. I'm going to go. One of them I'd love to because I'm very good friends with a lot of the club owners. I just
mhm.
have to go out and see if it has what it needs as far as terrain.
Yeah.
Um, and the other one, I know that it does. I don't want to bite off more than I can chew right off the bat. I think six is already probably great for a state in
Mhm.
a championship.
Yeah.
So there, maybe I will put a seventh one in, and I don't
Mhm,
think I will do it in July though. I'd probably push it to October. Um,
mhm.
But if I don't do that, then the Fallen Timbers race in September will be the final race of my series.
Okay. Cool. And, so what are the courses gonna look like? Is it gonna be something that is you talked about Quinn and Nick. So is this going to be more geared towards like a higher level or is this going to be geared towards like kind of an introductory, like for people like me who are just getting into it, or is it going to be kind of like a mix? Like, what was your idea behind that?
So every time I do something, I try to make it the best that it can be. That's just how I've grown up.
Hmm.
So for this in particular, the whole point of this series is to grow the sport. Um,
Yeah.
there's not, other than the US Hard Enduro and a couple knockoff races, that's it. So
Hmm.
um, I know that the only way to grow the sport is to bring in non-hard enduro riders or entry level hard enduro riders. So this is, and I plan on having this all written out, and I'm gonna make a couple posts about it. But the format is going to look like this, give or take a couple changes depending on the venue. So
Hmm.
it'll be two races in the same day. It'll be a
Hmm.
9 to 11:30 race for the
Hmm.
amateurs.
Hmm.
The course will be rideable for, let's say, you got an A class hair scramble guy and he rides techie stuff. He wants to come
Yeah.
check it out. He's going to be able to ride the course and not get his butt handed to him. I will make it rideable. I will make it
Okay.
challenging, but I'll make it rideable. Um, if I do put some more technical sections on the amateur race, there will
Hmm.
be bailout lines. So
Okay.
nobody's race is going to get ended because they can't do a section in the amateur class.
Okay.
Um, the afternoon race, which will be 12:30 to 3:30, will be for the pro and A guys, and
Hmm.
I'm doing that. So this is my image. Pro and A guys, I'm gonna put it to them. They'll ride all of the amateur course plus extra, and I don't have
Okay.
to worry about making the splits somewhat
Hmm.
equal time. I don't have to worry about any of that. I'm gonna give them the course that they want. The
Yeah.
cool thing is that if by doing that, the pro and A can't say that it wasn't hard enough. Now
Yeah.
on the flip side of that, by building an amateur course to bring in hair scramblers and enduro riders,
Hmm.
um, I'm there. The incentive is going to be every single amateur class, top three, every podium in every amateur class gets the opportunity to race in the afternoon race for free. So all of the pro
Oh.
A all of the pro A guys will start, and then the top 3 for every amateur class will start on their own line all together in the back, and they get to go ride the pro A course if they want. They don't have to, for free. That way, the top guys in the amateur can't say that it wasn't hard enough for them. Um,
Yeah.
this will be incentive for everybody. It'll be incentive for the amateur guys to get on the podium and
Yep.
advance. And
Yeah.
if they get on the podium and they do well on the afternoon race, then it is also a reason for them to advance up to A class. Uh,
Hmm.
and then the same thing for the non-podium amateur guys; they get to ride a
Hmm.
course that's not just going to wipe them out.
Yeah.
So trying to make everybody happy. The amateur guys can't say it wasn't hard enough because, well, if you didn't podium, then it must have been somewhat hard.
Pretty
Um,
hard. Yeah.
yeah. And if you
Yeah.
do get on the podium, you get to go ride with the pro and the A guys for free. It's a whole second race. You're paying $155 to race one of these races. They're going to get to do it twice in the same day if they want or if they're good enough.
I love that. That is an amazing idea. Like I feel like that like you said, it's just so much incentive. It's so much to like push. I mean, not that all of us who are racing aren't don't already have a push. I mean, we do, but to be able to be like, okay, I'm like I've been on the podium a lot as B class guy. Now, like I could really push and be able to do see if I'm actually good enough to be an A or whatever. And I think that that's awesome. That's a huge, huge incentive for people, I think. And I feel like you're gonna get a lot of people from outside of Ohio coming to race,
Right.
which
I
is
mean,
really, really cool.
yeah, Ohio's like it's perfectly located. You've got Pennsylvania, Virginia, West
Mhm.
Virginia, Michigan, Indiana, uh, all right there. And
Yeah,
any, for any of those states, you can drive 4 hours and be here.
yeah, yeah. It's incredible. I That's kind of why I like the East Coast because like there's everything's so close. Here I could drive 4 hours and I'm still in the same state. I could drive 8 hours and I'm still in the same state. It's
Yeah.
just like some of these states go on forever. Um, but yeah, you just see there's a difference in terrain out there. But that's really cool that everything's gonna be so close. People are gonna be able to come out. It's gonna be competitive. It's gonna be huge, I think, for the growth of the sport. I can't tell you how many messages that I got when I posted your announcement. I was like, people were freaking out and they're like, how can we get this in our state? And I think that one of the main things that people need to think about is how much work you're putting in, like how much work it takes to do anything like organization wise in a sport. All I do is I run a page for North Dakota to help. When I used to live there, I was trying to just get people to be able to ride together, so I started a page on Facebook. And it's kind of turned into like promotion for the local hair scramble series. And like, that alone is a lot of work, trying to make sure that you're staying on top of all of that stuff. I've been working on trying to get more trails out there, and it's a pain in the butt when you don't live there and meeting with, like, officials. Um, so I can't imagine all of the work that you've gone through, and thank you for doing it because this is huge for the sport, like I said. I think it's so cool, and nobody said that, "Hey, you're gonna get $1,000,000 if you do this," or anything like that. It's your passion for the sport. Hopefully you make money on it. Hopefully it's very, very successful. I think it's gonna be super successful. I think that this is something that people have been talking about for years. Before I even started riding, I would hear that. And so I think that you're the start of something that hopefully will, kind of go across the states. And we still love US Hard Enduro. Like you said, though, it is kind of hard to get to that stuff. Or one of the big things that I've found is that a lot of people don't have the confidence to just go and do a US Hard Enduro. Those are big, those are scary, and when you're new, when you know, you're not 100% sure you're gonna make it. I think that going to it feels more comfortable to go to like a regional thing and do like a regional race and feel like you're building your skills in a terrain that you're probably more familiar with as opposed to going across the country and racing in terrain that you've never seen before.
Right. Yeah. Kind of go to a few of those points that you hit.
Mhm.
The um, I'm not doing it for the money. That's 100% the last thing I'm doing this for. I need to make a little bit of money to keep it going,
Mhm.
yes, but that's
Yeah.
not going to me. That's going right to the series. I had some pretty good sponsors. Local shop here, Lancaster Sports Cycles. Tim Shepard's the owner of that, and he actually just bought out the Husky and KTM dealer locally here. So now he has Husky, KTM, Sherco, Yamaha, Polaris. Like a bad,
Wow.
it's a badass shop. I mean, their mechanics there are great. The salespeople are great. I've known him for the whole time I've been in Ohio. I've known him, and he stepped up and became our premier sponsor. So thanks to them for sure, Lancaster Sports Cycles.
Yeah.
But I got enough money in sponsorship to pay my course officials, buy the material I need to. I just want it to look great. I want the signage. I want the arches. I just want it to be awesome.
Yeah.
So as far I wanted to do this because I mean dirt bikes been my life. you
Yeah.
interviewed me before about just like
Yeah.
my how I was raised and stuff, and it's literally been my life. And I'll be honest, I was never fast enough to make money at it. I just I just was close, which kept me hooked to it, and I kept going. But I spent a lot of money, and I've just found a way, getting older and stuff, how to make my passion make me money. But
Yeah.
I'm really doing. I want to build a legacy for my children. Um, they both love riding. They are
Mhm.
super good at it. They're super intelligent. They just know a lot about dirt bikes. They see the shop on a day to
Yeah.
day. They see racing on a day to day.
Yeah.
They they help with sign up. They help with awards. They just it's great. They're already there, 6 and 10 years old. So if
Yeah.
I get this series kicking off now. I mean, my kids get to pick what they want to do. Do you want to run a power sports shop? Do you want to run a race series? Do you want it? The possibilities are endless. If you want it, just do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, and that's how I am. I think of it. If somebody else can do it, why can't I? So,
Yeah.
uh, and you can't be afraid to try something. And then once you do it, just do it with all that you can.
Yeah.
Um, As far as the traveling to the US, I love the US Hard Enduro Series. It got me
Mhm.
hooked. I'm talking
Yeah.
hooked. And I was pretty good when I first started doing it. A class, like pretty good contender. I've always been known to be just faster, like a hair scramble guy. The
Yeah.
single or the hard enduro and the single track, I had to get I had to figure out how to do that because my riding style was not for it. But um like you said, the guys that want to do it, but they don't want to commit to a level that US hard enduro is, then my
Mhm.
series is going to be exactly what they've been looking for. And
Mhm.
that's why the format is going to be like it is, because there are some really, really, really good B riders, better than me. Uh, so they're gonna have fun. They're not
Yeah.
the actual amateur race is not going to be as hard enduro-y as they're used to, but it'll
Yeah.
be hard enough, techy enough, challenging enough that they're going to be toast when they cross the finish line. And then if they're good enough, they're going to get the chance to pony up in an hour and race the Pro A race. So,
That's gonna be the hard part for those guys is, like, being able
yeah.
to, like, turn around and then race an even harder race, and but that's again, like you said, that's gonna show, like, should these B guys be A? And I think that that's absolutely freaking amazing. Like, this is so, so huge for the sport. I am just absolutely ridiculously excited. I don't know if you can tell.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I am too. It's a lot to figure out, as
Mhm.
far as I'm waiting for Matt to release his schedule for next year before I
Mhm.
put any dates on my. If you look at the website,
Yeah.
ohiohardinfo.com, there's just months right now. I'm
Yeah.
going to work. I'm working around the US Hard Enduro, and I'm also working around the ACES, which is the Appalachian Championship Enduro Series here
Yeah.
locally,
Yeah.
because those riders, those courses are awesome, and they are very, very difficult. I've raced a whole bunch of them, and I love them.
Yeah.
So I think that those riders will also want to come and try my series as
Mhm.
well. So those are the
Yeah.
two I'm working around, and there's so much racing around here. There's like four big hair scramble series.
Mhm.
There's just a lot of racing around here, so I can't work around
Yeah.
all of them, but I can work around the two big ones, and
Yeah.
I think it'll go well.
That's so cool. I'm so excited. So, what would be your best advice if somebody in a different state kind of wanted to start getting, start thinking about doing this as well? We kind of touched a little bit on it, but what would be the I guess maybe the hardest thing that you've had to encounter um or the maybe the weirdest surprise?
As far as setting this up or riding in Ohio, I don't understand.
As far as setting up the series, like, getting everything all settled and figuring that
Um,
out?
Scheduling would be number one. I want to make sure that I can there's just so many races around. I want to really dive deep into when my race is going to be.
Mhm,
The second would be um, I guess the advertising. Uh,
mhm.
I'm not a huge or even a little good at tech, phone, internet, all that stuff. I still have people that, they're like, "Dude, try this." And it's like, "I'm sorry. I'm not gonna learn how to do this stuff." It's just so I apologize for the lack of coolness on any of my posts, but for everybody watching, if you could somehow, some way share this, put it
Mhm.
into your internet, it's awesome language, that would be much appreciated. 'Cause I just can't do that. And then,
Yeah.
like I said, I think the biggest challenge is going to be just the finances to
Mhm.
make it what I dream in my head. As the
Yeah,
owner, it's my duty to. So I'm coming out of pocket quite a bit.
yeah.
I've sold a lot of prized possessions that I've had just kept around because I like unique stuff. I like cool
Yeah,
stuff, and
yeah.
I just had to have a conversation with myself like, what do you want more? Do you want to have this really cool stuff sitting around, or do you want to sell it and have the money to put into what you're building? So I've done
Mhm,
that, not to everything, but I've sold some stuff so I can have the money to really put into this, and I
mhm.
have 3 other businesses. I know you got to spend money to make money, so that's what I'm
Yeah,
doing. Uh,
yeah,
but I do, if you go to my website, there's a link. If anybody is interested in sponsoring the series, then
yeah.
you can click on the link right on the website and it'll come right to me. And then maybe we could work out something. It's all the support. Doesn't even have to be a bunch of money. It doesn't even have to be money. It could be something else.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
there's a lot of people out there that have um, like equipment rental or uh,
Mhm.
I have a local guy here that I'm going to pay to build my trophies, like custom, really custom metalworks trophies.
Yeah.
Just stuff like that, which goes back to I like unique, cool stuff. So that's what the trophies are going to be. They're going to be, and US Hard Enduro does a very good job making unique and cool stuff too. So I guess I'm just trying to be like them.
Well, I mean, I think it's cool, when you get something out of it. We all know that Erzberg, you win Erzberg, you get rock. So, like, which is cool, but at the same time, it's rock. Um, but yeah, I think it was Moab Hard Enduro. Mesa made some really, really cool trophies out of like different parts and stuff like that. So I think that those things are unique, like you said, and really cool. Something fun for people to have. So I think that's freaking awesome. This is all just so cool. I'm just like geeking out over it.
It'll be really neat when it actually, and it's coming quick. I've already been
Mhm.
so I'm working it like this. It's going to be everything is exactly the same as the US Hard Enduro Series is. It's just good. No. Yeah, my employees are starting to work in the shop now, so they're like told them a little noise is okay.
Okay.
Um I don't know what was I saying. I lost my
US
train of thought.
Hard Enduro, that things are gonna be like US Hard Enduro.
Oh, yes. So all the rules, classes, regs, everything is going to be exactly the same. Two of my races are going to be co-sanctioned with the US Hard Enduro. So
Okay.
Quinn's race that he just had this past weekend, Hollow Point, is going to be
Yep.
one. So you'll
Yeah.
register for two different races if you want, but it's only one race. Same thing with
Yeah.
Fallen Timber.
Yeah.
Um, but everything is going to be streamlined with US Hard Enduro, and Matt Musgrove and myself, we did that for the next state that wants to take this on.
Yeah.
I'm basically just, I guess, spearheading it, doing the legwork, get everything. That way, I can just literally, let's say West Virginia wanted to do it.
Yeah.
Here, this is what you need, just like Matt did for me.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. So like you're creating the blueprint essentially.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. That's really awesome. I hope that we see more states take this on. Um, it is a lot of work. And like you said, it's not exactly going to be the biggest money maker in the world at first, maybe. But as we grow it, that's that's the important thing. We're all trying to grow the sport. And so it's going to be really cool. Um, on that note, how are you gonna handle media? Are you gonna invite media in, media credentials, anything like that? Is that something that you've thought of?
In my head, I have one guy that I
Mhm,
spoke to 10 months ago when I started thinking about doing this, and asked him if he would be interested in doing so. He can ride a
mhm,
dirt bike somewhat decent. He is the one that made my promotional video for the Cliff's Edge race.
yeah,
So he
yeah,
knows what he's doing with the camera and putting stuff together. So
yeah,
I, I'm thinking about him. I always have a contingency plan, so I'm open if somebody else would like to message me, and if they were
mhm,
interested in doing media. Said
yeah,
I'm doing this all. I'm paying everybody. I'm paying my course officials. I have 6 course officials that
mhm,
um and I have 6 just in case one can't make it or whatever. They're not all gonna be. They might be, but they're all gonna have GoPros on. Myself, I'll have a GoPro out there. We'll have a media guy, and then we'll just kind of, in my mind, you just take all those and give it to somebody that
yep,
knows what they're doing, and then they make a awesome promotional recap, preview, whatever video.
yeah,
So
yeah,
that, yes, but I am open to suggestions, or open to, if anybody is interested that knows
yeah.
how to do that. You know what I mean? Like, if you were here, you'd be doing it
Yeah,
absolutely
yeah,
100%. It's just
definitely.
we'll see.
Yeah, no, I'm hoping to be back in spring. That's been my goal. So now this is more incentive for me.
Yeah,
'Cause I think this is so cool. Like I said, I've wanted to ride in Ohio, and since you announced this, I'm like, "Okay, I wonder when the first one's gonna be." You said March, so now I'm like, "Okay, gotta be there around March so that way I could ride."
right.
And just even to be around, even if I didn't get to race it, just to be around, see it, be part of, like my hope would be to be part of the media, and just be able to document this as it's so groundbreaking, it's so new. I mean, yeah, like we said, Sear has been there, but Sear has been out for a year, 2 years now. And so every time you start something new, you're doing it in a different fashion. You're doing it kind of alongside US Hard Enduro. And so this is totally, totally different in my opinion.
I think so. Yeah. And I want everybody to know, the only reason that this is happening is because hard enduro is a sport that is unlike any other motocross genre that there is. There's
Hmm.
not any better people. There's not
Yeah.
any better camaraderie.
Hmm.
It is fun from the time. It's fun before you're even at the race, getting stuff ready to
Yeah.
go, talking to everybody, everybody knows what it takes to get ready to go do one of these things, what it's like when
Hmm.
you're there. Uh,
Yeah.
Through the fact, I mean, it's just the best. There's no better. And the
Yeah.
competition, like, you can't go to GNCC and go up and sit with Stu Baylor like after or before and kick back and have a
Yeah.
conversation with them. But at Hard Enduro, you got a dude like Cody Webb that's just shooting the shit with you while he's working on his bike, and it's just like another dude. Or
Yeah.
uh, you know what I mean? Like, everybody, you got Ryder LeBlanc, Trist, they're all right there. I mean, Max
Yeah.
Kirsten does a phenomenal job of doing all of the following the riders and video, and
Hmm.
and and you just can't do that anywhere else. You know what I mean? Like all the
Yeah.
other sports, they show up and they all act like they're better than the other person, and
Yeah.
it's why? I mean, it's healthy competition when you're out there racing, like, but
Mhm.
dude, like I'm racing and I could really right now, I could care less about what place I get or whatever, but I see some like Billy Robinson,
Mhm.
he was in front of me for a little while and like he went down and I see and he bent something and he didn't even know it was me behind him and he's like, "Hey, you got," or he asked a spectator if they had something that they could bend his, I
Uh-huh.
believe it was a shifter. And it's like, I can't help you. I can't help you. And he's like, just give me a tool or something. And he's like, I can't help you. So I stopped and he's like, Chris. I'm like, here, man. So I stopped and helped him bend that thing out. And, just doing that took energy for me because I mean, I was already
Yep.
gassed. Now I'm trying to pry his thing out and know what I
Yeah.
mean? And that's,
Yeah.
you won't see that anywhere else. So
Mhm.
we grow this sport and people that are in another genre and they come and they do this and they experience that one time, they're hooked. They're going to race hard enduro,
Yeah. Yeah.
so that's why I'm doing this. It's not all about the hardest courses and it's about bringing new people in, and you
Mhm.
might get another guy like me that's like, hey, I could do this too, and just keep going. That's what it's about.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I love it. I absolutely love it. I recently kind of got in contact with another podcaster and I started following his stuff and he just recently got into hard enduro and he had made a post and it was like super controversial talking about like exactly what you just did, the community around motocross versus hard enduro, off-road in general. And he got so much hate for it. All these moto guys came out and they're like, obviously, you've never actually been to a motocross event. And he's like, I've spent the last like, I don't remember, it was like 20 years or something like that. Like it was a good amount of time. And he's like, this is my experience. And he's like, if you go to a hard enduro, he's like, you'll see people helping each other. And these moto guys are like, what? Why would they help each other? And it's like, exactly.
Yep. It's been like that forever too. That's all I ever did when I was a kid
Mhm.
was moto, and you have that like chin up in the air type mentality that you're either the fast guy or you're not, and they
Yeah.
just get upset about nothing. You guys will be pulling off the track after the checkered flag, and they're just cussing and throwing their hands up in the air, this and that and the other thing. And that was after 4.5 minutes riding on a track. These dudes in hard
Yeah.
enduro out there for 4, 5, 6 hours, throwing their
Mhm.
$14,000 bike up into the trees, watching it roll down a cliff, and they're like, "Nice, like let's do that again." And people are like, "Are you guys retarded or what?" Like that's the difference. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I it definitely takes a very different kind of person to do hard enduro. I mean, I met people over the last few weeks that are like, "You're crazy. Like, you actually want to try that stuff?" But I'm like, "I don't know. I don't know what it is." But ever since I saw it, it's all I wanted to do. So, I'm not good at it, but I try, and that's what matters to me at least. I don't
But
care.
you
I
know
don't care
what?
what anyone else thinks.
But you know what? If you took a girl that did nothing but ride moto and tell her to
Mhm.
follow me up this hill, they'd be like, "There's
Mhm.
no way I'm going up that." Just something as simple as that. So, I
Yeah.
mean, I would say you got to be well rounded. You know,
Yep. Yeah. And I think it's important to have, like you said, be well-rounded. It's important to have skills in different areas. So I eventually I'll have to go to a track um and learn some speed and cornering and stuff, but um I'm not overly looking forward to that. I just I'm deathly afraid of getting landed on. Like that's my biggest thing. I watched people get landed on the first couple times I went riding. I went to a track. I didn't actually ride on the track. Um that scares me. I There's a lot less. That's it's hilarious because I'm actually more likely to have a bike land on me in hard enduro. I feel like I've had my own bike land on me multiple times, but for whatever reason, somebody being in the air and landing on top of me scares me more.
Yeah, and when it happens like that, you never see it coming. It's just
Yeah,
yeah,
I think that the injury potential to me is higher when it's somebody else coming, like, at you, like, a bit they're basically in my head, they're, like, landing on your back and,
yeah,
then spinal injuries and all of that. I don't know how realistic that is because I don't I've seen a couple, but I haven't seen a ton.
it's
I've done
very
a lot more
realistic.
around hard enduro, but
Very
yeah,
motocross.
yeah. I feel like I've seen a lot more spinal injuries and, like, severe injuries like that in motocross than I have in hard enduro. I think the worst injury that I personally have seen in hard enduro was, like, a leg break, and that was it. Like, which doesn't I mean, it's a broken leg, but, you're still you're still able to move, you're still able to function. A lot of people do the ACL thing and but those are minor in comparison. So it's just it's very different. But I think that I don't know, I feel like there's a shift in a lot of off-road stuff right now that I'm seeing personally, and it might just be the spheres that I'm in. Um but that a lot of women have been in motocross and they're basically being pushed out is what I'm seeing. And they're not, this could be said across the board that women aren't being treated the way that men are, even at high levels, even at pro levels, right? When we all know women aren't paid the same way that guys are. Um but I feel like the way that women get treated in the community in hard enduro is way way better than it is around the moto community. And so there's a lot of women who I've talked to personally who are starting to think about even just getting into enduro, getting more into trails and off of the track because of the experiences that they're having. And again, that's not to say everybody, but that is kind of something that I'm seeing as a trend. So of course, personally, I'm like, women are really good at thinking about things and about overcoming challenges, and women tend to be really good technical riders. So, what do I push people towards? No, let's go through our bikes and rocks.
And the format that I'm doing is going to invite women. I mean, it's like
Yeah,
any man, guy, female, doesn't matter. The course isn't going to kick their butt. It's going to welcome them and it's going to challenge
yeah,
them. And if I think when we're building it that someone at the lowest level might not be able to get up this, there will be a bailout line for it. So
yeah. I think that that's really great, especially with your kids getting to the ages where, they could potentially start getting into this, they start getting competitive with it. That's great to have that too. I mean, I feel like your kids are a little bit better than an average rider, but that's just my personal opinion. Um, but it'd be good to have them, like, oh, hey, if Riley can do it, then anyone can do it, or something like that. At least for like the next year or so, and then she's probably gonna be kicking butt. So
yeah, I think I posted it, but my son Ryder on, so it's
mhm,
Cliff's Edge number 2. Uh,
yeah,
and I'm just saying everybody should be excited about that because what I'm going to build out there is going to make everybody smile very, very big. It's going to be everything that everybody wants between
yeah,
awesome spectator section to the hardest hills and rocks for the pros and the most flowy, fun, technical, scenic. Just this is neat stuff for all the amateurs. But I had Ryder while I was building the uphill, one of the big
uh,
uphills for the Pro A guys, and my son was like, "I could get up that," and he's on his E50 out there building course with me. I pay him five
uh-huh.
bucks every time he comes out to build course with me. And he goes, I think I can get up to that. And I'm like, well, get on your bike and go. I didn't think he was. And he was like, all right, get it turned around for me here. So I turned it around and he made it up over the first big rock. And I mean, it's something like, well, this dude's 6 on a 50 and he's getting over the
Yeah,
first rock. And he
yeah,
he hit it, I think, 3 times. Uh, and every time he got over that rock just in a different way. But
Yeah.
he wanted to keep going. He's like, "I wanna get to that second rock up there," and I was like, "Let's just call it quits for today," you know? But,
End on a
hey,
high
man,
note.
yeah.
That's
So
so
that's
cool
kind
though.
of
Yeah, I
that's
love
how I'm
that.
gonna try to do a little bit of the advertising is, using my kids to, "Hey, if they can do it, then you guys can do it." Plus,
Exactly.
they're getting that fame that they think that it
Yeah,
is or whatever, so that's just for and no, I'm not the way we're doing it is, the venues are responsible for building the course. They're
yeah,
just
yeah.
they're just going to follow my standard, and
Mhm.
then we'll go out about a week before and ride it and approve it and stuff. But I've told every single one of the course owners, I'll be there. That's another reason why I'm doing this. Like I'm gonna be at all those places riding it and "Hey, what about this or what about that?" And my kids will most
Yeah,
likely be coming with me too. That's why they're homeschooled, so they get to go do real life schooling sometimes. Um,
yeah,
but yeah, we're gonna be able to go out and just it's gonna be good for the family. It's gonna be good for other families. I'm going to try to make the Ohio Hard Enduro State Championship Series please as many people and different levels as possible. That's my goal.
yeah. I think that's really awesome. That's taking everything that I think that US Hard Enduro has been talking about for the last year or so, probably longer, but since I've known has been about a year, year and a half. And things that they've wanted to do, but they have like they're at such a high level and working with so many different people across the country. It's a little bit harder to rein things in. These are people that you're working with who you're right there so you can be part of this. And it's a little bit higher or harder rather when you're at a higher level when you're Matt Musgrove who's on the West Coast and people on the East Coast are building, these courses and you're like not really involved. I absolutely love the fact that you're going to be there. You're going to be able to get the input like you said from like Quinn and Nick and people like that. You have some really really great riders in Ohio to get more opinions from too. Like there's some amazing people out there and in states around there that might, come and help eventually. And I just it's so cool. It's so exciting that you got all of this together. But going back to your kids, I think it's awesome that you're including them. It's an amazing legacy for them. And they are two of the coolest kids that I've ever met. Like they're so awesome and they're such good kids to have around the race. Like when I was at TKO, um they were both so supportive and I was just like this is so cool. This is awesome. Like they're obviously they've grown up with people who ride well and stuff like that. So Riley told me I did a good job and I was like, "Oh, thanks." And Ryder gave me a fist bump and I was like, "This is awesome." Because I felt like I was dying after that hot lap. So, but
Yeah.
that was really cool to me. Like that gave me energy. Like it made me so happy. So, I think it's awesome that we're going to see them around more and they're going to get to see all of this stuff. It's the coolest.
Yep. Absolutely. Building the sport, but you got to bring the youngins up so they can keep doing it too. You got to find a
Exactly.
way. They have to like it. It's not just being drugged to a racetrack and there's nothing to do. It's just let them in
Yeah.
there, let them work, let them be a part of it, and
Yeah.
that when they can, they'll take over. So
Yeah, definitely. That's awesome. I'm so excited for this. This is so cool. Um, I think that's all the questions that I had right off of the bat. Like the biggest question I think that I had seen was that people were just like wondering how this all got started. So um and then they were wondering if you're going to expand to other states and I was like I think Chris will probably stay in Ohio, but like you already said you're providing the blueprint so other states can take it on if they so choose, and I think that that's awesome. There's some really amazing terrain out across the country and there's some really cool places that people have talked about it, but I don't know that anybody's actually taken it on. Um, so we'll see. Maybe you just inspired more. So this would be
Yeah.
really cool.
I will give probably every single bit of uh, the credit to Matt Musgrove. I mean, he loves this sport. He really does.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
he puts in the work. I mean,
Yes, he
everybody
does.
sees it. He's running around out there like I don't even know how that guy stands up at the end of the day. Like he's everywhere doing everything and
Yeah.
he loves it. And even with all of the stuff going on, no matter where he is or what country he's in,
Yeah.
he responds to all my messages and he's always been supportive of it. And haven't even known the guy that long. It's just I guess good people can pick out good people. I don't even know, whatever. But they they entrusted me
Yeah.
into doing this, and I'm sure there's other people that they would as well. But I just took taking a chance, and like I said, I just love this. This is my life. This is
Yeah.
every single day I am around dirt bikes and doing dirt bike stuff. So this is just adding on to that and
Yeah.
gonna do the best I can. And but real Matt, thank you for the trust and the help. And he loves the sport. So like give him the credit because
Yeah.
this is he's behind the scenes, making all this
Yeah.
stuff happen. So and
Yeah. Yeah.
maybe that's what I'll be like for another state. Like I said,
Yeah.
I probably will not try to expand this as far as the Ohio Hard Enduro. I'll just keep it that. But I will
Yeah.
definitely take somebody else and give them all the advice I can and help in any way that I can. If another state wanted to do it, like,
Yeah.
yeah, for sure.
That's awesome. Yeah, Matt is fantastic. He's absolutely crazy. I don't know if he sleeps.
Yeah,
I'm
I think
pretty
that,
sure he just has like an IV of caffeine every day and then just like go go go. That man is all over all the time.
yeah,
And to he does the US Hard Enduro Series, but then he also does the Moto Climb Series as well.
yeah,
And that's all over the country and he tries to get to that. So like you were saying, he does so much. And all of the media stuff that he does, he's a really incredible force.
he is.
So but it's really cool that he, believed in you so much and has worked with you and really helped you to get to this point because this is just good for everybody. I think, like I said, I think you're really going to inspire people with this, and I'm really excited, and I've already been talking to my friends out here. I'm like, "You guys, we should go to Ohio for this. Like, let's take a trip." Because I personally, you were saying about driving, I'm kind of over driving all those big distances by myself. I drove 50 hours to get to Battle of the Goats. It was only like 40 something to get to Tennessee, or like 30 something. I don't know. It's a lot. And when you're driving by yourself, it gets overwhelming. Um, so I don't want to do it by myself again, but if I have people that come with me, like let's get a trailer, throw the bikes in it, let's go. Like I'm totally willing to do that. Or we could just rent bikes from you.
Or yeah, you can Hocking Hill Bike will hook you up. I mean, even for like you,
Heck
be like,
yeah.
I'm short, and then my answer would be like, so am
Mhm.
I. So I have bikes that are lower 2 inches. They'll be perfect for you. Like hook,
Yeah.
hook you up, make it a trip, come out. I would
Mhm.
personally, in a heartbeat, fly and rent a bike if
Yeah.
obviously if you can afford it. Then driving,
Yeah.
how long that is, 32 hours or what? It's just yeah, no.
Yeah.
But this will also maybe for myself. Own,
Mhm.
I've never went out west and raced, and I've
Yeah.
had some inquiries about a couple bike rentals out there, but more so it was riders here that were
Yeah.
wondering if I have rentals out there. If so, would I transport their bike or whatever? And I just
Yeah.
it's in a business perspective, it doesn't make sense to drive out west to rent a couple bikes. That would
Mhm.
we would lose money doing that, to be
Yeah.
honest. So doing this, I think, will allow me to, it's only one race a month, and I'm not
Mhm.
building every single course. I'll be there
Yeah.
when I want and how I want. So I think
Yeah.
for sure, I think I'm gonna get to go out west and have some fun for sure. But I'll be
That'd be
renting a
really
bike.
cool.
I will be renting
Yeah.
a bike. I'm not driving out there, so I might be on a gas. You never know. I don't know. I'm not driving out there. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah, the races out here are intense in a very different way. Just so much exposure out here, and if you're not used to that, which I was not, it'll get you a little bit. I know a lot of the East Coast riders who've come out here are like, "Whoa." But y'all have skill, so like you can get used to it really quickly. It doesn't stop you in your tracks like it did for me. But
I wanna ride
um
Grindstone and do King of the Motos. That's what I wanna do.
Yes. Oh, King of the Motos is gnarly. Grinding Stone is too in its own way. I just like personally, I appreciated the like beauty at Grinding Stone a lot more, so it was a little less scary. But yeah, King of the Motos is oof. I've been out there one time since the race, and I got to the top of one of the drop-ins, and I was like, uh-uh. No, this is way too steep. It is when it's all sand and then you drop down into the rocks and then you're like in the canyon in the rocks. And I was like, how do you like at my skill level, how do you go down that? You have to bomb down it in all of this sand. So you're just like, fishtailing the whole time and then have enough control to be slow enough to not smash the rock at the bottom. Like was like, I think I need some more practice in sand and downhills before I try this. But now, I mean, that was in March. So I think now I'd probably be able to do it. Maybe. We'll see. I think I'm going next month. So we'll find out. But yeah, it is super gnarly out there. It's like scary gnarly.
I'm excited.
But yeah, you'd love it. You'll love it. Absolutely. Um, well, I think that's, like I said, all the questions that I had. Do you have anything else that you want to add before we sign off?
Like I said earlier in the beginning, there,
Mhm.
if everybody could help me
Share.
get this
Yes.
out there, that's
Yeah.
the biggest. I'm not good at that. I just will admit it. I am not. I'm not a social media guru, and that's
Yeah.
what it takes. That's what it takes.
Yeah.
But please share, 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 and
Yeah.
if there's any questions, like, I
Mhm.
do know how to respond to messages, so message me and I'll answer the question, because 'cause I'm sure there's a whole bunch of them, and the
Yeah.
questions will probably help me continue to grow this as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I said, because I only have so many ideas, but if somebody
Yeah.
has some suggestions or some requests,
Yeah.
I'm all, you're talking to me, you're not talking to a huge, it's me, and I'll
Yeah.
make whatever I think is feasible, I'll make that happen. Um,
Awesome.
and the only other thing is, if anybody does want to get on board and become a sponsor for this, then
Mhm.
seriously go to the website, click on it. There's no amount too small, or no, I'm not going to turn down if it would fit. Then I think it would be
Yeah.
great. I've got some really, really, really good sponsors now. Um,
Yeah.
but like I said, everything else is just icing on the cake, and it'll let me do the wow factor,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
the wow factor costs money and it takes
Yes,
time.
it
So
does. Yes, it
that would
does.
be a request of mine. And please,
Okay.
any questions or suggestions, send them my
Mhm.
way, and I'll make it happen.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, thank you for doing this. This has been really enlightening and just so exciting. I'm even more excited than I was before, and I was already really excited. So this is so cool. Thank you again for all your hard work for doing this. This is a huge undertaking, and you're doing it, like you said, for the passion and growing the sport, and that is absolutely amazing. So thank you to you and
Yeah,
your whole family, because your family's part of this too.
it is. Yeah, my wife Lindsay does more than people even imagine. If I didn't have her, none of this would be possible. You wouldn't. just think of how many times I've handed her the computer and be like, "Just do this," I have no idea what I'm doing, and she makes it all happen, and then I hit
Yeah.
whatever, so
Yeah.
thank you to her
I
for sure.
love that.
Every single time I'm on a phone call with somebody or I'm on the computer trying to send an email, a sponsorship request or whatever, how many times you
Uh-huh.
think I have to tell my kids, like, just leave me alone for a little bit? I'm trying to work. Like it's the whole family that's in on this for sure.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It takes a lot of sacrifice, but it's gonna be a really amazing thing, and you guys are sacrificing a lot, but I think you're gonna gain a lot just because of the community involvement, like you said, and having a legacy.
Yeah. That would be cool. Never never did I ever think if you had asked me when I was 14, 15 years old, be like, what, think you're gonna own a race series when you're older or a
Yeah.
dirt bike rental company or a motorsports shop? Like, I'd have been like, I'm
Mhm.
probably going to be laying underneath a truck somewhere working on it, like with a mechanic or whatever,
Yeah.
like never would I have thought. But again, if you want something, just do it.
Mhm.
Just go after it
Yep.
for
Yep.
sure.
I completely agree. Because 2 years ago, I would have had no idea that I would be the places that I've been and done the things that I've done. I it You can change your life if you just decide to do it. So, I think
Yeah.
that that's a you've gotta come up with a slogan, something like that for your for
If
your
I wouldn't,
races.
if I wouldn't Yeah, I know, right? If I wouldn't see the love of the sport from everybody else at the races
Mhm.
and know without a doubt, people, I would build it and they will come. Like,
Mhm.
I wouldn't do this
Yeah.
if it wasn't I would not even think about opening a hair scramble series. I would not even
Yeah.
think about building a motocross track. Like,
Yeah.
not of any interest to me at all. But
Yeah.
hard enduro guys will come from, I guarantee you,
Mm.
I have people from out west coming to these
Yep.
races. They may not make every single one of them, but they're going to come because
Yep.
that's what we do. That's what hard enduro is all about, and we're just going to keep
Yep.
making it bigger. We're going to keep making it better. We're going to make it cool. Quinn's race, I hate that I wasn't there, my daughter was sick, but he put in that, just I know it was phenomenal. It's just I know
Yeah.
just by just the man-made features that he built, the time that it takes to do all that and stuff. Like, anybody can
Mhm.
get in a dozer and doze a path in the woods and have a race, you know.
Yeah.
But to build hard enduro stuff, it takes
Yeah.
a lot of manual blood, sweat, and bee stings. Yes, for sure.
Bee stings.
Yeah,
Oh, that's terrible.
yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
thank you again for all that you guys do, and, I look forward to hearing the announcement for what the actual dates are gonna be, and we will definitely be reposting that, and, yeah, and then I can start planning when I'm gonna get there, so
Appreciate your time.
thank you. I'll talk to you soon.
See you later.
Alright, and then